Okay, so this is a book that I've made. Here's a bunch of pictures from it. Basically what I'm trying to do is make some sort of video to throw up there on Facebook, explaining this whole book type idea that I made. Now, I've been working on this thing for like 3 or 4 days in this beautiful West Springfield, Riverdale Road suite of an apartment. And, yeah, what I was going to do was just show you what the thing's going to look like, and maybe read one of the poems from it if the battery can make it all the way through. Actually, all my videos die out before they're finished being made. And, yeah, I don't know. Here's some of the pictures on here. These are the doubles, which are just kind of all over the place. And, yeah, I don't know. It took a lot of freaking work. And a lot of these things, like, well, not a lot, but a couple of them were done while I was in jail. That one was. This one, yeah, that one was too. This one was not. That one was not. But in any case, they're, yeah, pretty neat. This one here. Oh, yeah, by the way, this girl I love, Mel, is the inspiration for all of them. And I'm putting this up here in case you're watching it, so you can see what you somehow got me to create. Or, you know, at least made me want to do, which is pretty neat. Oh, you can see the Syracuse hidden in there. I don't know if you can or not. But yeah, I get the fact that a lot of the stuff I think about you or feel about you is definitely in my head, because we only knew each other for a couple of months. And yeah, I don't know. A lot of it's not. I mean, what I knew of you, what you knew of me in the short time we knew each other. But in any case, yeah, I get the whole, whatever you want to call it, obsessive denial part of it. But I also get, like, the greatest love in the world part of it, too. So, oh, that was pretty neat, by the way, too. Playing Villanova today. They come back from 20 points down to win. So, I don't know. Anywho, this is what the thing's going to kind of look like. I changed it to Unearthed by me. And so when you open it up, it's just going to have like a poem on one page, picture on another page, and all little faces from the Facebook. I think I showed that one before. This one here, we have God watching over all of these devils and whatnot, with the moon up there just chilling. Over here is all the flowers and berries and whatnot. There's a whole story behind this one. I made like an actual almost book out of it, because that's where all the berries grow, on these little trees. But whatever, the whole point of this was, this side of the building has the smiley face on it, and they look like they're the good guys. And this side over here has all the demon face on it, and they look like they're the bad guys. Yet these guys have the church right here on their side of the building, and they have a wall built in front of their area. Well, these guys over here built their building on top of the cross, which I just thought was neat. And then these guys are chilling out in purgatory. That's the little purgatory area. And here's all the other little demons here. And then this guy over here in the corner is Tim Tebow. Why Tim Tebow? I have no idea, because he's the oddball who can sneak in among the demons, but still be good enough to play with the pros and kick the shit out of somebody like Aaron Hernandez. This is actually, I made it into a Tebow shirt just for that reason, because at the liquor store, people would always come in with these Aaron Hernandez shirts on. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm just going to make a Tebow shirt for these freaking idiots. But, in any case, so the more you go into this, the Halloween one, got one page. Oh, that's all the double pictures of the book. That's that little secret area, that little M I told you about with the rest of it. And another picture. This one's neat. It's a double-sided one. You have this, and then on the back side of it, it's the same picture, just colored differently. So that's more or less what this thing's going to look like, and I've been trying to get the... Oh, there's one of the dark ones. I've been trying to get this thing finished so I can mail it off to an agent. This one here is neat. This is me. I'm this monster type deal here. I'm coming out of South Hadley. And I have all these monsters' heads on spikes and whatnot, because that's what I do. I find bad ones and expose them. Then there's this dude. I don't know what he's doing. So, anywho, what I was going to do is I was going to read one of these things, just to kind of show how the whole thing came together. And it's, yeah, it's the longest one in here. And it's the only one that's like really confusing and really long and really gets into something. I don't even know what, but it's a pretty neat poem. Actually, no, I know what it gets into. It's just a pretty, just a story. So anywho, I'm going to put this on, oh yeah, naturally. What time is it again? 3:40 in the morning, my usual work time. So I was just going to read it. It's supposed to be read really fast, and it might not make sense. You'd have to read it, I guess, but I'm just going to read it how I wrote it. So this is the Unearthed one, which is the title of it. Like I said, this guy, Unearthed. So I had to have at least one poem called that. So it goes, come on up, come on under, stay where you aren't and watch the thunder. From your emotionless, desolate void, while it all shatters, expands, dissolves, and enjoys, while you sit passively by, too silent to try, to listen or wonder, too careless to fly. Come on under, come on up, exist in this realm, not the next. So speak a word and not a text, and build a beast to beat the best, and lead the game with no contest, with the weight of the world off of your chest. Wandering blindly yet purposefully over the edge of a cliff to see if it is possible to fail and fall, not being able to undo anything or even caring to change or choose, as long as the slip into hell is worth the otherwise unachievable ascent out of it. Take too long and sing it, don't spray it. Wander and break into the great unknown. Forgive and forget wherever you may roam. Irrelevant yet transparent to the point where it matters, on and within the subtle, layered levels of what is imagined to become real. How many times has this bridge been crossed, and why won't it burn? Fuck your subtlety, fuck your slavery, fuck your guns, and fuck your bravery. Without owing what the demon has said, he has bought you, with the strengths and desires built by the determination you realized were within you all along. Where does his pursuit lead? To a burden, a labyrinth of lust and jealousy and greed, the hangman's noose, psychosis, perhaps willpower? Unearthed. To contemplate where and when you may never have been, had the previously unknown strategies and choices and strengths within you remained dormant beneath the surface. Maybe in time a place worth resting will accompany what you have challenged to change. The sights you are seeing are now alive, are now real, are no longer fictitious, one-way endings to not only the impossible, but the implausible scenarios that were not even tangible enough for consideration of materialization. Now, are they not only worthy of exploration, but are invasive to such an extent they cannot be permitted to be denied by the former mindset's untenable balancing of what at one time was considered to be good enough by the complacent, errant, delusional side of a wandering, ungrounded imagination. Yeah, okay. Irrelevant yet transparent to the point where it matters, in and upon the brilliant layered levels of what is next. Part 2. Something to say beyond the words to replace what you thought, what you needed, and how you tried, as wisdom of nature brings you along for the ride. The actions that precede consequence are often overlooked as something that cannot be connected to what is possible in any rational or logical sense until what is unexpected, suddenly arrives and shatters what was thought of as both unnecessary and irrelevant in a manner so morbidly confusing that it is not allowed to make sense. Up and off the fence, to think straight and clear, clean and sober kills most of the fear. Treading the thin ice is an endeavor similar to walking along a razor blade, in the same sense that what would normally be perceived as a seemingly inconsequential mistake suddenly erupts into a fury of rage, chaos, hatred so violent and unbearably unforgiving, the icy razors that pierce into the depths of your mind will end in a derailed sense of the denied faith built on the flushed-out abortion of what you once thought was your own soul. Yeah, apparently it gets deep. Clinging to something, wondering where yesterday went, as the foundation of tomorrow is laid by the interpretation of what you think you are surrounded by today. Unearthed. Seemingly pulsating away on the unburnable bridge of a new day, learning through bitterly patient disguises that love is what she saves. Yes, the sky up above pushes, turns, accepts, and expels into graves all of those under her, even as she's weeping, begging to prove that her love is worth keeping, as are the chosen ones born just for leaping, over the moon, into the stars, into the sun, while taking on the work and giving up the fun, allowing them space and choice and a reason to vault, even out of control, yet never at fault, peeling the unopened ending, preserving like salt, too entrenched in the possibilities for them to know when to halt. Burning, consuming, tiring, wasting, watching the world through the walls of a basement. Why won't it change? Why will it blame? Why won't it grow? Simpletons of irrelevance thinking they're the only show. Why will they kill? Why won't they listen? Why won't they flow? All the while telling themselves they have the right to know. Walking along lines, running with time, poisoned with wine, being misled to think that the rules and the law are the same thing when they are not. Scattering uncommon boundaries, unfolding a new way not to get caught. Sedative sensations overcome almost beyond the point of stagnation while losing and waiting and burning so effortlessly in a lonely, hollow, self-inflicted prison awaiting an escape that can only come from within. Unearthed. How and why and what and when and not and choice and but collide and contribute and fuel fear and distort perceptions into tainted paranoid reality in such a sense that its turbulence and uncertainty can and oftentimes does override and overwhelm rational thought, burning up what thrives in purpose into a charred remnant of what you once thought you once needed. Bury anger, but gauge, vent, and thrive in it. Somewhere between walking backwards, blindfolded with an open beaker of sulfuric acid, through a maze of tripwire-linked Serbian-made bouncing betties, and studying the absurd from an obtuse angle to see if it will in some way, at some point, become rational enough to make the sort of sense that is worthy of redeeming in an illegitimately usurped attempt at honesty. Unleash anger, but use, direct, and control it. Those are some run-on sentences. Loosen the dreams of your own despair to arrive at the madness you've prepared. But why, but wait, but show, but hate, eternally befallen like a grudge upon a madman's crown as he rants and raves towards the sky and the ground, blaming his God for his own fortune, learning and chasing and changing while losing, and faking and playing while winning, only to stop the heart that beats for the purpose of showing up the people that it seeks to control. Under the guise of being the best, of reaching the peaks, of beating the tests, of being the one and sliding the game, the proof with the worth for the sake of seeing someone else's shame. The pursuit of absolute perfection eventually always slips, falls, then fades into obscurity along the wayside, while the perpetrator into the shadows uses lies and waits into a locked doorway. The one who admits he is fallible creates and admires and pursues through common sense and forthright, undeniable determination the unstoppable notion from within to never give up, to never waver as they approach what is known to be insurmountable, and to never fall through the cracks of infinite irrelevance, even though it is so obvious to the ones around them that they have already failed. Unearthed. What keeps beckoning, burning, and raging from within, unearthed, in order to grow and mature and seemingly effortlessly blossom into anything and everything the perpetrator into the shadows missed through locked doors into lies, and the one in pursuit of absolute perfection mistakenly left behind. The end. So that's the end of that one poem, and that's the first poem to start this book. And I have like 40 other ones of them that go with it, so hopefully this whole little project here will work out pretty good. And do I think this thing is good enough to like be published? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's being like an arrogant dick, but Jesus Christ, all the time and effort alone is worth it, for Christ's sake. So, anywho, that's a video of the first poem in this thing, and I don't know if I'm going to make more or not. We'll see how it goes, but I got 2 more days to get this thing in before the deadline, so we will see how it works out. And I guess that's going to be the end of this video. Other than that, this is going to be practice for what the Virgin Islands is going to be like. Basically working like this all freaking day long until I get the work I want to get done. That's another one I made in jail. I made that in the pre-release apartment, which was the place I got to spend my birthday in there and got a candy bar as my only birthday present. That's another one I made in pre-release, which was, well, I don't know. They're interesting stories for another time, I suppose. So, once again, I don't know. It's 4 in the morning. Time to maybe pick this stuff up and go to bed. And, yeah, good night.